We are having media outlets trying to convince gamers to buy Dustborn, which was labeled as the wokest game to ever be released. And you can't forget that the developers behind this game were so afraid of the 2016 election, which is what inspired them to make this game. And you just have to know that because of this game's absolute failure of a launch being dead on arrival, one thing to note is that the all-time peak player base did actually go up by 2 players, from originally being the peak of 81 to 83. And this is all with the news coverage that is going on across all social medias when it comes to these articles being published, these new YouTube videos being created, such as this one. And yet they can't even increase their all-time peak player base. It just shows you that if you focus on messagings on these political ideas, agendas, you're probably going to fail with the vast majority of the player base because a lot of players want to escape reality. They don't want to continue to be reminded of it. They just want to have a good time when they're playing these games. But then again, a lot of these people that are behind the scenes making these games absolutely don't give a crap about that. They just want to live in their own little world and create whatever the hell they want when it comes to their own opinions. And before we get into the article, please don't forget to subscribe, like, or dislike. It doesn't matter. It helps with engagement as we get into the article. Woke media attempts to convince gamers to buy Dustborn. It is not working. Numerous woke gaming and media outlets are attempting to convince gamers to purchase Red Thread's game's radical left-wing political adventure game, Dustborn. However, it appears to be having no effect whatsoever, as gamers have outright rejected the game. Well, we did have an effect of this, and that is by an increase of 2 players on the peak concurrent player base on Steam. Carly Valachi over at Games Radar explains the game's story. Dustborn is first and foremost a visual novel of sorts where you play as Pax, who teams up with a group of friends and strangers to deliver a valuable package across the Republic of America to a resistance movement in Canada while pretending to be a touring punk band called the Dustborn. All this is to hopefully be free of the oppression and danger of a fascist, broken America. And you can't forget that this game is basically an Antifa experience because you're having these robots here pretty much simulating the police forces or military forces where you have to take them down because of the oppression. That is what these people want. These people want chaos. These people are so out of this world when it comes to their thoughts that they think that if a person was elected that this would actually happen. It is absolutely crazy to me. And Valachi has a high praise for this, combined with its oddly sustained length and sheer amount of topics and issues it wants to address, and its growing cast of colorful LGBTQ plus characters. It almost lives up to its promises as an epic political road trip saga about people with superpowers. I'm sorry, but I don't think no one in their right minds wants to play a game that has a political road trip saga. You see, these SJWs, these woke media outlet writers, they are praising this game because it goes along with their values and their opinions. But if you were to have instead of a leftist game, which this is, and a right winged game, these people would absolutely be crapping on it. And that is just how we are in today's society. Continuing on, over at Forbes, Matt Gardner admits Dustborn is among the most unrepentantly liberal and left-leaning games out there. Again, there you are. You are praising a game because of it being a liberal type of title with a liberal experience. Oh my gosh. Nevertheless, he also attempts to convince readers to purchase the game by claiming you just need to have an open mind. If you have an open mind and you're willing to give it time to grow, Dustborn is a fun trip, even if it is occasionally feels like it's trying to be a bit too edgy for its own good, especially for the type of people who will immediately click with its socio-political outlook. Of course I know them. They are me. And it kind of makes you think that why are these gaming journalists trying to convince players to buy this game? Wouldn't you have thought that if this game was actually good, it would make people excited for it, and we would have seen a larger number of people playing this game on its release date because of perhaps maybe the trailer being good or perhaps the reviews not being so political. But then again, that is not the case because people don't want to play what is already a part of their reality when it comes to this world that we are in. And I'm pretty much going to sum up the rest of this article. So again, you have another gaming journalist, aka Diego Nicolas Arguello, trying to convince people to buy this game and even acknowledging that this game has clear parallels to reality. I don't know if you were me, but if that were the case, I try to stay away from this game. I don't care if it was a left-leaning game or a right-leaning game. I don't want to take no part in any sort of political agenda. I just want to enjoy a game for what it is, for its original idea, in trying to inspire good gameplay, good stories, and good characters, which this game doesn't have. This game is the embodiment of having the modern audience as a 4-player ban. That is what this game is. And again, it also continues on with Cabrutus Rambo pretty much adding this game to his DEI detected website, calling this game that it is pretty much basically DEI the game. And this is what happens when you continue to focus on these political agendas and not focusing on games that are fun for the average player that will be able to enjoy it throughout their time playing it and not wasting their hours on it. And it's also important to note that the amount of coverage that this game is getting, and yet it is failing to convince people to buy this game and increase the player base on Steam, it's just another telling that this game is a failure, a DEI infested failure that once again shows that if you focus on political agendas, it is going to fail. And with all of that in mind, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.